Welcome to the Business Information Buffet podcast, brought to you by the Minority Business Development Agency. Each week, we'll be featuring business owners and entrepreneurs that will provide their personal recipe for business, powerful conversations, and knowledge of the business world. We amplify the stories of various backgrounds, cultures, and expertise. Our self-identity is as diverse as our social community. We cultivate a community of like-minded individuals that share their different perspectives, broadening our worldview. Are you ready? This is the Bib Podcast, where everybody eats.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Welcome back to the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the Bib Podcast, where everybody eats. Here for another sensational episode. I am your host, Sean Torrey, with our DJ Icebreak.
DJ Icebreak.
Let's go. Today our topic is called From Local Star Athlete to Entrepreneur, with a special guest. Now, ladies, gentlemen, and name, this guest right here today is someone I had the distinct honor of watching growing up on the football field and the basketball court. When I met this gentleman right here, we were in the sandbox with the wood chips. That's how far we go back. And he was a rising star of greatness since then. He received a full scholarship to Southern Utah University in football athletics. He later transferred to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and was on an academic scholarship. He studied radiology, but before dropping out of college, he decided, you know what, it's time to go. But that's what he was able to achieve. He then opened up his first business in 2014 called Helping Hands Personal Care Services, where he did a behavioral health program. He's an entrepreneur. He owns multiple properties. He's a father. He's a business owner in general. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Catch a Fade Barbershop and Catch a Ticket LLC, Jarmuel Pearson. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, big guy?
Thank you.
How you feeling
Thanks
today?
for having me here.
Man, appreciate you coming.
I really appreciate it.
I heard this is the first podcast you've been on today.
It is. But I watch a lot of them, so.
Yeah. So how do you feel being on one?
I'm ready to dive in.
You ready to dive in?
Yeah.
See what's going on with them. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a Las Vegas native.
Born and raised.
I grew up on every side of town.
Man.
Every side of town. Literally went to multiple elementaries, middle school. The only time everything was settled was high school. So I went to Cheyenne High School. To play varsity basketball, play varsity football. I'm a real native of Las Vegas.
He's a real Northtown native. So how was that transition from growing up here, moving around from all parts of the city at that time? And even then, I think Vegas now is not what it was back then. As far as the developments and the houses and Summerlin and Blue Diamond, there were certain structures and everywhere, but to then finally found your home over at Cheyenne for sports. How was that for you?
It's amazing to see the growth right now.
Okay.
It's amazing to see the growth, period. It was really amazing to see the growth right now. Let you know that there's a lot of good things happening here when there's growth like that and people are coming in here. But moving around so much, I really didn't understand it. You're too young. You don't know. You're just winging it. Right. Saying I have my brothers and you're just being a kid. You're just being a kid. You don't understand why are you moving so much. But I got to choose the school.
You got to choose the school.
I got to choose the school.
Is that reverse solidarity?
And as an adult, I'm like, why did I choose Cheyenne? You know what I mean? Like I didn't pick. It is what it is. I didn't pick the great pool of network. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can go far knowing everybody. It's this is a network school. Right. But as a child, that's where all my friends went. That's where everybody from Pop Warner and NYFL or, Doolittle Basketball League, they were going to Cheyenne. Right. I wanted to compete at the highest level. I wanted to win a state championship. I'm like, we're going to win a state championship. We're at Cheyenne. So that's why I picked the school. But I had a chance to go to Gorman. You know what I mean?
Well, you had a chance to go to Gorman?
Yes.
You said no? Bro, how did you have a chance? Okay, so
first of all, you're talking to a 13-year-old child. Right. When you ask this question. I can't even tell you. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I was like, when I asked that question to my parents today, like, why did you let me pick Cheyenne High School? Don't get me wrong, I had a grand time. Like, it was the best high school experience I ever had. Like, it was scripted. I can't rate it even better.
Right.
But I still don't like that I got to pick the school I went to.
Because I had the pleasure, because back then when you were in high school, I was like elementary, middle school. Yeah. So I got to go to your games. I got to see the impact you had on the basketball court and the football field. Yes. How was that? What were the lessons that got you from college, from high school to college to now being a business owner? Like, are there still skill sets? Are there still lessons that you learned from then that got you prepared for now?
Well, what you don't know when you're an athlete, like you're on a schedule. You're on a routine, practice. At this time, do this. At this time, do this. At this time, do that. You know what I'm saying? The time just flies. Like, you don't even know. But at the same time, you're having brothers you're going to battle with.
Right.
So we're a team, like, you know what I'm saying? And every time, like, we're reaching levels and accomplishing wins and losses and, like, highs and lows. But you go back to the drawing board, like, playing a sport, you will get a lot of, experience out of it.
Right.
Just experience, period. Like, you don't even know you're experiencing life. Right. You're just playing a sport, you know what I'm saying? But from high school to college, it's a whole different field.
Right.
It's a whole different field. Like I said, you don't know that you're an adult when you go to college. And that's something that needs to be said more.
I agree with you.
Period. That's what kids get lost in. Like, I don't understand how that wasn't expressed, like very heavily expressed. Like, I think they said it, but they're not saying it. Like, they're not really saying, like, listen, you're responsible for everything.
For you.
Yes,
you're responsible.
You're really responsible. Like, you can't get kicked out of school and go home and your parents come to the school. Like, no, it ain't like that. Or you really got to keep your grades up, or they'll just, like, you got to go. Like,
right.
And that was a culture shock. You know what I mean? That's a culture shock. And in my experience, I feel like I didn't perform it well mentally. I didn't perform it well mentally. Like, I felt like I was, like, out in the world.
Right.
Like, so. But college, I mean, I went to Utah. Yeah. I mean, it was a great college town. They had their own culture. Right. I was welcome in that culture. My coaches were great. I just feel like I didn't understand that I was an adult right there.
Right there. It didn't hit you.
Because I had so much fun in high school. like school was easy. Right. Like, super easy.
And you were always good on grades too.
I was always good. I went to summer school every year, so I didn't have no classes my senior. So just think, I went to both lunch. Like, I only had 3 classes. Man. I had 2 student aids.
Oh, wow.
And a Spanish.
And so you were chilling.
So I was chilling. Like, I don't even know. I didn't even, like, the work ethic was gone.
Wow.
I didn't even know what work ethic, because I went to summer school every year, so I didn't really have work ethic. Like, I put in the work already. So obviously I'm enjoying the fruit of my labor. Right. But someone should have sat me down and said, it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be like this forever. Like, you have to start all over and do this again. Right. Like, you have to start all over and do this again.
Like, starting from scratch in a whole.
You got to start from freshman again. You have to start from freshman again. Like, I went out there on a high horse, like, right, on a real high horse.
Got you.
And I just was like, someone just shook me, like, bro, it's not like this. You're waking up at 11, going to both lunches. Yeah. Student aids, don't really care. Right. All I needed was a D in Spanish. I already passed clearinghouse. My grades are already up. D, I can get a D. Right. Just to go to I already got the scholarship. Already accepted it.
So it was, at that point, it was the mindset, the maturity.
It was the mindset and maturity. Like, you still have to get humble. You have to humble yourself again. You have to get humble again. And I didn't get humble before I went out there. I mean, I went through a humble experience once I got out there, but I felt like mentally I wasn't there. I wasn't even used to studying no more.
Ah, got you.
The routine was done. The whole looking at a book, reading, and, like, you know what I mean? Like you said, you don't know. And that's a hard space. Right. At 18, 19, like, people are, like you don't really find yourself till like 28.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
So, like, you can't just let kids go out there after they graduate, like, figure it out. Like, no, because you have to stay in the head, in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to.
I think that's that discipline, though, because
that's a discipline.
It's one of those things where some people sink or swim. In those instances, I know when I left for college, I didn't know I needed to get multiple jobs to survive. But at that point, it was like, all right, I got to get going. I can't sink. Like that's all I got. It's the risk that I took leaving home because I wasn't coming back. I refused. So I definitely understand.
Well, you didn't know that though until you got out there and it was like, and start seeing bills and you're like, what? I'm responsible for this?
Yes.
You see this big bill and you're like, bro, like this is just school.
Right.
Like
exactly. So then you left because you were there for a full ride. Then you came back to UNLV on an academic scholarship.
Yes.
Then you get to the point where you dropped out.
Yeah. So like I said, I had to work multiple jobs.
Right.
So I was doing UPS like at 4:00 in the morning to like 9:00 a.m.
Right.
Then my first class would start at 10. So I like had this little bit of change clothes, a little bit of maybe take a nap.
Right.
Radiology was a competitive subject. It's a competitive major to even deal with, like so competitive. Like I said, I already lost my routine in Utah.
Right.
So I'm trying to challenge myself again and work 2 jobs and be broke and study.
Right.
Like that was oh my God, like so I would go to school and then I used to work at ESPN Zone at the New York, you know, being a server.
Right. So
I had 2 jobs in between school. The rest of the day I was still broke.
Man.
I was still struggling. It was still struggling.
Right.
And it was an academic scholarship. Like it was low-key paid for, but I'm still struggling. You're like, this adult, this is, like, so eventually like I had to go full-time. Because my studies wasn't in there, like I would get behind, or it was very difficult, and still trying to find yourself as well. You don't know what purpose you have. My big purpose was in high school. My high horse is right there.
Right.
Like now I got to challenge everything else. Everybody's gone. Friends are gone.
Right.
Friends are going separate ways, trying to find themselves too. So at the end of the day, like you said, sink or swim. And
because salute to you, because I know one of your best friends who was on episode 2, Jared Clark.
Yes.
Salute to Jared. So, like, what was it having? Because I think Jared was in Arizona at that time, right?
Yes, he was.
So how was that? Because having a friend like him who was like, yo, man, you got to get to it.
Yes.
And when you decided to drop out at UNLV and then eventually start helping hands.
Yes.
What was that? How was that like for you? Like, it didn't having a friend who's like, man, he's in Arizona, he's having a good time, he's in college.
See, when everyone's burst out, like we weren't talking as much.
Got you.
Like, and when you come back in town, it's all good. But once you burst out, like you kind of have your own you have a different network. You have a different circle of friends. You have a different like no matter, the love is always there.
Right.
When you come back, like you know what I'm saying. Like guys, we're different. Like it doesn't matter. We don't see. I don't see you in 10 years. Like you're still my boy. Like I run into people at the gym, and I play basketball. I'm like, well, how you doing? It's all love still. Like, bro, I went to battle with you at the end of the day. So like you weren't talking as much. We weren't like talking as much like it was a whole different. It's a whole different field. So at the end of the day, like I said, he's still trying to find himself. Like everyone's trying to find themselves at this age.
Right.
So but I heavily admired it. Heavily, like I loved the road he took. Yeah. I like the road that everybody's taking. I like the road you took when you went to college. Like that's hard.
Yeah.
I went through it. I was like, people are doing this? People are really doing this. Yeah. And it's very tough. Like, I congratulate everyone that gets a college degree. It's like, man, that's sacrifice. Like people don't know how much you're sacrificing for this achievement.
But I think, Phil, we can say the same for like someone like yourself, right?
Yeah.
I watched you build Helping Hands.
Yes.
And I watched you build Catch a Fade and then Catch a Ticket with the gambling services. And now you're doing Airbnb. This man, Your sacrifice went in a different lane, but it was still the same amount of amplified work.
Correct.
So how was that creating these businesses?
So I did Helping Hands because at first I worked for behavioral health.
Okay.
So you have to be an employee first to understand. You have to be the employee. People just jump up to the boss. Like, you have to work it first.
Right.
To understand what you're getting into. Right. So opened up my own thing, I hired my family. I made it family oriented, very small, very lucrative, efficient. While I had that for 4 years, like, when I had that business, it made me understand. I didn't understand money.
You didn't understand money?
No,
really.
I was getting it.
I thought you don't
understand it at first. I didn't understand it until like 2018.
Okay.
I started in 2014.
Okay.
But you don't really understand it until 2018. You don't really understand. Like I said, you don't know yourself until you get older. You go through trial and tribulations. Yeah. But I opened that up. Unfortunately, it got shut down in 2018. But when it got shut down in 2018, I had already put all my cards in, all my chips in. Right. So I invested in the Raiders. The Raiders announced they were going to be here. Right. So I invested in the Raiders PSLs.
Let's go.
So I got 4 seats in the Raiders Stadium.
Okay.
I conformed into Catch a Ticket LLC. Right. Of course, I'm putting everything in the business. Give me that tax me all that. You can have that.
Yeah.
I want it on paper. I want it on paper, and then I bought a house at the same time. Right. And then I got the keys to Catch a Fade at the same, like in the same. It was May of 2018.
Right. So I
went all in.
Man.
I went all in. Put all your chips in. Right. And I'm just now getting my fruits of my labor. Man. So people don't understand, like, you can't quit on yourself. There's so many times, I can't even tell you. I can't tell you. But I invested in another end right there and solely in there. Because once I found out what a Reyes practice facility was, that's when I chose the location. Smart. Yeah, the model of Catch a Fade, the model of the barbershop world was introduced to me by my headmaster, Barber Tay.
Okay.
So when he told me the model of it, like just with the shop, the school, I was already in. Yeah. I'm going in. Like, at the end of the day, I'm going in. I'm willing to you gotta take chances, you gotta take risk. Right. You gotta believe in yourself and be confident, and I went all in. So
and by the way, you don't cut hair too.
No.
You have Tay. Shout out to Tay. Yeah. I've been to him a few times. Yeah. He's phenomenal barber, by the way. Yes. You invested essentially in Tay. Yeah. And he taught you the business, and then you did some research on your own. And now
He introduced it to me, and then I did my research on my own, and then I went after it.
Okay. See, that's dope.
I went after it. If I like to make a model, I'm going after it. It was an easy make a model. Like, right. I've been into barbershops. We all been into barbershops. Right. At the end of the day, a barbershop's not going nowhere.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Never.
It's definitely an investment.
It's a 30-year no-brainer.
See, that's true. That is
no-brainer 30. Mm-hmm. Like a nun. Like, then I'm like, okay, let me get, you know what I mean? Let the young guys do it, you know? But it's a no-brainer 30. And I guess, and I liked it because if all goes well, I can always hire myself.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? He said he can hire himself. So even though you're not a barber now, you have the opportunity to, if you wanted to.
If I wanted to go to school, come back and sit in my own chair. If all fails, I can sit down for 9 months, reinvest in myself, the knowledge of education, and come back and have a job for myself.
I don't know many people who can do that. I don't know many people who can do that.
You have to create.
Right.
You know, this is a creation right here. Yeah. You have to create.
You do. It takes time. It takes time. It takes patience and persistence. A lot of people don't have that. Yes. And things won't always go in theory. And actually, that goes into our first segment. You ready for the first segment?
Let's come on.
We're going to go into the recipe versus the outcome. And so, With this segment here, we discuss your journey, how you planned the business, what challenges you faced, how you were able to overcome it, and what was the outcome from that. So my first question for you, can you think of a time that you planned something and it didn't go accordingly? How did you make it work?
Okay, so when it came to Catch a Fade, I did it from the ground up.
Right. Oh, so you built it from literally from the ground up.
That thing was in there at all. Not a pipe, not a water, not a electric, not a nothing.
Man.
Not a nothing.
Wow.
So I had to get a general contractor
Okay.
to build it out for me. So I get this general contractor and he milks me. He told me how much the bid was.
Right.
We agreed. I put a performance bond on him though. A performance bond is when they don't do their job.
Right.
The insurance pays you back the money.
Right.
And it's his job to pay the insurance back.
Right.
So, I paid him a hefty amount, almost like 75% of the job. Normally, when it comes to contracting, you get 50%.
Yeah.
They do the whole thing at 50, and the rest is that they're done.
Right.
But I wasn't educated. So I felt like he was getting over on me because I was expressing, this is my first baby. But it's not going to be my last. Right. You know what I mean? Like we can have future endeavors going forward if you do this correctly. Right. Like you're a general contractor. That means we can do houses. We can do commercial. There's so many things you can do. You're a general contractor. Right. You can build things. You know what I mean? So he basically milked me for like. He milked me. He milked me for like 75% of it. And then he like walked away from the job. He walked away. He abandoned it.
Dang, for how long? How long did he abandon you?
So he got paid in January. He abandoned me. 2019. He got paid in January 2019.
Right.
He abandoned me by June 2019. And then I had to go down to the construction board to file a report. Right. So all 2020, right, I was fighting to get my money back. Man. And remind you, I'm paying rent on this place still. Paying rent. Like, I'm being left to die. Right. Like, it was a double pandemic for me.
Oh, that's terrible.
So, unfortunately, things went in my favor. Right. I want my money back. Right. And then, I didn't went back hard at it. Right. But during those times, like, I lost confidence in myself. Like, confidence is a lot when you're a business owner. You have to be obsessed with your business. Yes. You have to be confident every day.
I agree.
Like, every day. Like I was like literally second guessing myself. Like, what did I get myself into?
Got you. Like I said, it's crazy. I was just having this conversation about there's people who want to start business but don't understand the obsession, not just the obsession, how you need to talk about your business every day. Right. Like there's not a moment that goes by in the day. Yeah. Even on your chill day, where you don't think about or you're not sitting here doing something for your business. Correct. You have to. Correct. So man, that's
so even with that standstill, like it was a very hard challenge. Like it was like I went into depression. Right. Depression, like real life depression. Like that is serious. People don't give that much and to get out of it. Right. Like it was just crazy. I just felt like I didn't deserve that. But in the day,
it all came back full circle.
You know what I'm saying? Like it gets very hard before it gets easy. Right. It gets very, very, very. Not everybody has different very hards. Like different business, whatever the case may be. But it gets very hard before it gets very easy. Mm. So I had to go through that. It's traumatizing too. Because it's like, man, to even go to building again, I was like, no, I'd just rather have something that just open, just buy it. Instead of just doing it all over myself. Like, you know what I mean? That was very challenging. So that didn't go away as planned. I expected to give him the money in January and be done in 90 days. Right. A permit lasts 90 days. When they pull a permit to do construction, it lasts 90 days. Man. So I was expecting 90 days. 90 days turned into like 18 months. 18 months of just not being like it was just wrong, and the Nevada Construction Board, they don't really stand up for businesses.
They more so
businesses is like not there. Right. Like they'll, talk to a contractor, but this is happening a lot that people don't know about. Like, people, do your due diligence with your contractor.
Right, they should know.
Yeah, but residential, they'll rip a limb in the contractor for messing up some residential, but a business, like, they're not too much fun. And I learned that too. So I learned a lot in that spirit of time. So it was bad, but I learned.
But I feel like but now you have the knowledge of, like, because now you got a new contractor. He got the
yes. So I have someone I can go to if next for any chapter I want to start.
That's phenomenal. So
and that was challenging because, like, when I did Helping Hands, it hit immediately.
So he was
like, it was no trial and tribulation. Like, you know what I mean? There was no, like, it didn't get hard at all. Right. Like, it wasn't hard at all. So
it's hit the ground. It
hit the ground running. Fast. So I'm glad that,
See, because it's crazy. Because my next question for you kind of answered it, but you may have something else. Because I know the phenomenal work you've done over the years in the community. So first, give me a round of applause. I think I want to give you your flowers on that, because I know how hard you worked over the years in behavioral health and helping other families. So salute to you on that. And this next question that's in this segment is, what are some things you've experienced that could have worked out in theory, but did not go that way in practice?
So I'm gonna switch to catch a ticket. Okay. So, we're all thinking that the Raiders are going to play last year.
Right.
So, like, we're paying on these seats and there's no production coming. Right. So, I thought that was going to go as planned. I thought that was going to go as planned because, that's an investment too. So at the end of the day, like, I'm battling two investments, seeing nothing from two thicky thicks. So it's like that my 2020, everybody 2020 thought it was going to go differently. So that's one of the things that
I feel like,
say that,
because when I'm like, I did this, I'm like, no, that was in 2019. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the whole world being on stop and pause and a real trial and tribulation, like, that didn't go as planned, and that, like, a lot of it didn't go as planned. Everything is just planning out now. Right.
But guess what? You still here, ladies and gents. He is here. His shop is open. Everything is good. So, come on now. Everything happens for a reason. Because I want to thank you for giving us that recipe. Yeah. But I have to do this to you. I have to go ahead and put you in that hot seat, young sir. Okay. You ready for the hot seat?
Let's go.
Let's get it. So this segment, we provided in-depth questions to learn more about you as a guest. Okay? So my first question for you for the hot seat is, who did you look up to growing up?
That is a hard question. That was a hard question. Like, I feel like it took me a long time to grow up. It took me a long time to grow up. So I feel like the people I really admired, like, growing up, was Randy Moss and Kobe. Like, of course, sports fanatics. Right. But I think that's Kobe and Randy? Yes, but I didn't know what I was looking up to until I grew up. Like, I didn't know who I was looking up to. Like, yes, I'm looking up to their performances, but them as men. But them as men, and them put in the work is what I didn't know until I got older. Makes sense. But you have to grow up to understand the work they're putting in. You're just looking at them as athletes. But I'm not looking about the everyday that they're doing.
The practice.
Just the mentality. Right. Just the everything. Right. Even, the hardship, even the highs and lows, their story. Right. Like, you just, as a kid, you're just going through the motions. You don't really know what they're going through. Right. But I did grow up, like, I did in my, because I said sports was everything. Back then it was sports or nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Sports, the youth groups.
It was low key sports or nothing. Yeah. Like, you grew up was like, this is the only way, and that's very tragic, because to have that only installed in your head.
Or the
all that as you see. I'm not gonna say it was installed, but
I get what you mean.
other things weren't installed enough.
No, it was the sports is the way.
Yes.
To have the key to the American dream
To provide for your generation.
Yeah.
To even start generational wealth. That was the key.
Right.
And so that's the two people I looked up to. That's the two people I looked to. But like, I'm still growing. So at the end of the day, I don't know who I'm growing because I'm still growing. So I was like,
I like that.
Now it's like totally different.
I like that response.
Yeah, I'm still growing. So it's like, who do I look up to? Like, I look up to a lot of people now. Like, I like the way they just perform within themselves.
Right. So what's one habit that you do daily?
So the one habit I do daily is hit the gym in the morning.
Right.
I don't have to wake up at 6:30. I set my alarm to wake up at 6:30.
Right.
And I hit the gym because I set my alarm early because people don't wake up until 9,
Right.
8:30. By then I already had time to myself.
Right.
I got it in. It's just me versus me. I call it self-love.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's a confident booster. Like, so I hit the gym, and me hitting the gym brings discipline in my life across the board.
Right.
Like, I go to sleep earlier.
Right.
A lot of gallivanting is done at night. Right. Let me say that. A lot of gallivanting is done at night.
Right.
So I go to sleep earlier. I eat cleaner.
Right.
I have more energy. I can think better.
Right.
'Cause everything starts with that. So then you just start putting everything in its place.
Gotcha.
You easily put everything in its place, and that's important for me. Right, for right now, that's everything I do daily. I do that daily, and while I'm there, I'll post, catch a fade.
Yeah.
So I do my marketing, driving to the thing, get it all out the way, and that's just like it's just my daily routine right now, and I love it. I love it. It's low key a life hack if you try it. It's really a life hack if you really try it. It's hard.
Right.
Depending on your circumstances, but it's really a life hack if you really tried it. So that's right now. That's what I'm putting in. It's just self-discipline. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you don't have no one disciplining you.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to discipline yourself.
You have to discipline yourself. Yep.
You have to run yourself like the business. You have to run yourself as a business. You're open at certain hours. You're closed at certain hours. The food is the energy you give off. Like, you have to run yourself as a business if you're a business owner.
Right.
Because if you can't run yourself as a business, don't ever think you're running anything.
That's very true. Round of applause for that, ladies and gentlemen. That is factual right there. So then, what's your favorite tool to use that helps you run your business?
Right now, a favorite tool is I have Booksy.
Oh, Booksy. Okay, the Booksy.
Booksy.
Yeah.
The Booksy's app is easier because as adults, back in the day, we used to sit in the barbershop for hours.
I used to.
Oh my God.
I couldn't stand it.
Oh my God. You spend there all day.
Yes.
Like, as adults, we got stuff to do now. What was y'all doing back then?
I can't. I remember we used to get up early.
Right. Trying to be the first ones.
Man, the first ones don't lead till 11. Don't lead
That
till
is
12.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I just want to find my slot. Because, when as an adult, like, we think about getting a haircut at the weirdest times.
That's true.
like, period. Like, you can tell me something like, oh, I'm doing this on October 22nd. Like, I'm going to book my appointment now.
Right.
Because on October 22nd, I need to be fresh.
Yes.
And I ain't trying to text you. And then I'm like, no, it's easy access. I can see exactly what time slots you have. Or I can book every Friday.
Right.
And then hold myself accountable to making those appointments.
Right.
So that's a tool I like as far as the business. And another tool is just like, just me marketing. Me marketing.
Gotcha.
I'm going out there marketing. I'm gonna go hard on the marketing.
So then, what would be the best part about working for yourself? What's the best part about working for yourself? The best part of working for yourself.
It's That sound bad, but there's not a lot of best parts. Knowing the best part about working for yourself is knowing that if you put in the work, the results will come. That you don't eat, like, there's no ceiling. There's no ceiling at all. What you put in is what you're going to get out.
Right.
So if you do it enough, it's going to come if you're doing it in the right lane, or if you're doing the right people, or like working for yourself, you can only grow. Like, you can only grow if you put in the work, and if there's a ceiling, then you better find something else for yourself to help you take that. People, you can do multiple things. People think doing one thing is like I said, I do the Airbnb. Right. Like, and it pays the bills. Right. Like, people want to be rich. Get something to pay the bill. Do something that pays your bills first.
That makes you money when you're already sleeping.
Yes. Like, do something that pays your bills first. Like, you can just sleep and you just know your bills are going to get paid. Right. And then you go from there. Like, it takes steps. Right. Like, so with working for yourself, you're able to think outside the box. Right. Think of multiple things. Like, you just need to do multiple things. They can be multiple small. It don't matter. My Airbnb is not gonna make it that much. Right. But if I do an Airbnb, a Turo, like just multiple things that make, it can be 30 grand a year. It can be 40. It can be 20. It doesn't matter. Right. It's 20 you didn't have to do anything for. Right. Except touch an app. Yeah. Approve, not approve. Car wash, made. Gotcha. Done. So it's just like I said, there's no ceiling. There's no ceiling when you work for yourself if you put the work in.
So then this is the follow-up question to that. What's the worst thing?
Oh my God.
What's the worst part of working for yourself?
Knowing that the worst part of working for yourself is you work for yourself, but you don't work by yourself.
Round of applause for that. I like that.
So I've been watching a lot of podcasts. You don't work for yourself. Right. You work for yourself, but you don't work by yourself. So finding the great people to like buy into what you're trying to actually do is very difficult because everybody has a different agenda in their head. So it's kind of hard to find out, are we thinking alike? I have this plan. Are we thinking alike? We can get to it. And just everything falls on you. Gotcha. Everything falls on you. So you have to wake up. You have to be confident every day. Right. Like, you have bad days, but they have to be like seldom bad days. Like, very like, you have to get back up. Gotcha. Fast. Right. Because you run how your business runs. So the worst thing is like everything is just really on your shoulders. But if you trust yourself and you're very confident, you can carry it easily. Like, it's nothing for you to carry. It's like, you don't even know you're carrying it because you're so confident in yourself. It's like people can't do that.
That's like self-accountability right there.
Yeah, self-accountability. Yeah. Like, very strong self-accountability. So I feel like that's it. Just make sure you have the right people with the right mindset around you, because you can fall with somebody having the wrong mindset around you. You don't know it. You can very fall.
Y'all hear these gems? I'm letting y'all know now. I'm going to definitely use that as a reel. That's going to be a reel. When this episode drops, this is going to be the reel. Right what he said about that. I like that. Yes. I like that. So, sir, you made it through the hot seat. You made it through it. It wasn't that bad. No. He said, let me go ahead and quench my water. Man, so this next segment right here, we're going to transition is the sauce.
If you ain't got no sauce, then you're lost.
You get lost in the sauce.
You can also get lost in the sauce.
So this segment right here gives us more insight on our guests, where we ask, what is your special ingredient for your business? Tell us why nobody can replicate what you do. So tell us, Mr. Pearson, sir. Tell us, what makes Catch a Fade Barbershop, Catch a Ticket, a business nobody can duplicate what you do?
Because it's me. Because it's me.
With the Kanye shrug.
Because it's me. Because it's me, and I'm gonna give my all. Whatever I put my foot forward.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna give my all my God. So that's just like Catch a Fade. As soon as it picks up, it's gonna go crazy.
I see it,
but it's hard because people don't see it like I see it. Right. They don't see like this is a new community. Right. these new communities don't have no barbers around here.
Yeah, that's true.
They have to go far.
Right.
Like you're in a community. That's why I attacked the school first.
Right.
Kids are going to get the word out faster.
Right.
So that's why I did the sponsorship for the football team.
Come on now. Sponsor. What school you sponsor?
Liberty High School.
Liberty High School, all the way out there.
Yeah.
Got you.
I sponsored the Liberty football team, the women's volleyball team.
Come on,
which both I heard. I'm new to the area, so I'm gonna say I heard they're state champion contenders.
They won state last year.
They won state 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So and like I said, the kids will get the word out. So I got them. Hold on, I got you guys shirts too.
Oh, what? We got gifts. This is the first time anybody. Oh, this is the first time we ever got a gift.
You said, what's the sauce?
Yes, so let's see. He said, see, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. This. Oh, I can go to the gym in this.
Yeah.
You see that, ladies and gentlemen, right here. This is that sauce.
You don't got no sauce.
This is that sauce right here.
You're lost.
You also get lost in the sauce. This the sauce right here. I like this. Man, I'm about. See, I ran my 2 miles this morning.
You ran 2 miles?
I ran my 2 miles. Yeah, because that's actually a habit that I'm picking up. Just in general, is like even when I'm tired, bro, I gotta get out and just run.
I do Pilates and boxing.
Pilates
for cardio because I hate running.
I hate running too.
But the Pilates and boxing gets the heart rate up. Boxing's a hard sport. That's one of the most difficult challenges. Like they're so mentally, they're all mental.
Yeah,
they're all mental. So I admire them.
Man,
from a different, yes.
So think this is the sauce right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, so I'm actually updating the shirts. Okay. So I'm updating the shirts. I'm actually going to put the QR code on them, so they can go immediately to the book.
Smart.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna give away to the football and the volleyball team shirts. So now I have walking billboards.
Smart. So, come on now. Give this man a round of applause, ladies.
Walking billboards.
He got walking, and he got the YouTube.
And this is a great, you can wash it. So it's not going nowhere.
No, it's not. This is the material
that's the real material. It got the good neck.
Yeah,
that's the most part. The good neck, the nice sleeves. When you have a good neck and the arm,
it's a wrap.
You're good to go. So. Yeah, so like I said, like when you said with sauce, just me marketing, me thinking about other ways to grab attention that listen. There's a barbershop right here, right next to you. This community, like come get your confidence up.
Right.
So when you leave, when you go there and when you leave, I want you to leave with confidence.
Man.
Go out there, execute whatever. Go on your little date. Go on your job interview. Go on whatever. Look at yourself in the mirror. Like I want to put confidence in this community. Because there's a lot of depression going on with this social media. You know what I mean? Like, so my first thing was to attack the kids.
Yeah,
I be seeing. I'm like, come to the barbershop. I went to this football game. Yeah. I'm handing out flyers. Some of them was like, you need a haircut. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like, you need a haircut. You need. Come in here and love yourself right quick. You know? Like, come on and love yourself right quick. So
yeah, no, man, that's good though, because like that was a good strategy. Most businesses don't sponsor high school teams as they should. Yes. High school teams are the ones who's going to support you. They're not only the students but their parents, and then the 6 degrees of separation from there. That's how it grows.
They're the next generation. Period. Exactly. You have to catch them.
Yes.
If you want anything, you have to catch them.
Yes.
That little 14, 18, you have to catch them.
See, thank you for giving us that sauce, good sir. That was the best sauce segment I done had. We got gifts. Come on now, and now for that being said, before we conclude, we have to go ahead and drop the happy hour, ladies and gentlemen, where we do here. This our last segment of today, and before we go ahead and do this toast, I got a gift for you. From the Biz Information Podcast. That's for you, good sir. Get you some swag.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. And so from this segment, this is where the host and the guests give a toast to success. We ask what's going on great for your business. So tell us, what is something that's going on great for your business right now that's worth celebrating? We got a cut for you right over there. That's for you. Yep, right over there. That's for you. So what's going good for your business right now?
So far, I've been open for 4 months.
Come on now.
I have 85-star reviews on Booksy. 80. People are going out their way to compliment the shop, the barber.
Let's go. Shout out to Tay. Shout out to
And
Tay.
I love, it's kind of the same things every time. Spacious,
Right.
relaxing, classy. Like, you hear those key words every time. So I know I put a great shop together.
Yeah.
The sauce is already in there. Already in there. All you gotta do is come in and perform. Any barbers, all you need to come to do is perform. They already love the environment that they're in. They're adult to children. They already love it. And they can come in, come out. You can go in, get a cut, leave. Go on about your day.
Come on now. Get this man his flowers. So to Jarmuel, congratulations to you. Toast to you on your barbershop success. Go ahead, toast to you, good brother.
Thank you.
Man. Yes, sir. Man. Thank you so much for coming on the bib today.
No problem.
This was a great episode. You dropped a lot of gems.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like this podcast.
Thank you, man. This is.
I really like this though.
We want to.
I really like this.
Yes, man. We want our guests to come in and feel special because you guys are like. There's business podcasts out there, but there's not many that really caters to talking about our stories.
Yes.
Because the people, when they see our flyers, when they see our shirts, they don't understand the grunt work it takes. They
don't understand the trial and tribulations you had there with the door. They just be like, "Oh, you're doing your thing." It's like, bro, you know how many times I was in the house just playing the game to make sure I didn't kill, not kill myself, but like really just come on. I lost weight over this.
Yes.
Like I wasn't all smiling gillies the whole time. Like in my head, I was going crazy.
Right.
Because I had this vision that wasn't coming into fruition until it did.
Right.
And now you're seeing me another bubble.
Right.
You know what I mean? But next year, when I take on something new, I'm going to go through it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I like the unknown.
Some people
I like the unknown. That I like the unknown of challenging myself, but I like the unknown. Like it is. It is what it is. So
many people are scared of the unknown. They're scared of the abyss. They don't know how to get out of it. They stay in the pits of the belly of the whale, like Pinocchio reference, right? But that's sometimes that process, that journey, is what you reflect on. Like, man, I as much times that it irritated me. Yeah. That process I'm addicted to.
Right.
It's so fulfilling.
Yes, me too.
It's so fulfilling.
Me too. And when you don't know, it's kind of boring when you don't know the unknown, bro.
Yeah.
It's very boring. Like it like this that's just it's it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not.
It is for everybody, and it ain't for everybody. So like I said, when I pick back up and try to do something next year, I'm gonna go through it again.
Almost definitely.
It is what it is. But at the end of the day, when you're done, it's great.
Tell these people where they can find you, sir. Where can they plug all the businesses with the websites, the Instagrams, where you at? Tell people where they can find you.
I'm working on my Catch a Ticket website right now as it's going right now because I didn't know if there were going to be a season.
Right.
I didn't know if but once I got confirmation. Then I'm like, okay, let me get it together.
Yeah, right.
You know, but the whole time I'm like, man, they ain't letting nobody in this stadium. They ain't,
right.
Like I said, you having doubt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the whole time I'm like, since 2018, I'm just,
right.
I'm very on my high horse, but they keep, keep telling me no. Right. So I'm working on my website on that, but Catch a Fade is on 120 East Burner Avenue, Suite 160. It's on the cross streets of St. Rose and Las Vegas Boulevard across from the M Resort.
Gotcha.
In a new community.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This is a great episode. I like this one. This was funny. This was funny. It was real. It was honest, but not honest, because honest people can be rude.
Right.
It's very transparent.
Yes.
And I appreciate that because not many people give a round of applause for this gentleman for coming through. So thank you. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you loved it. And ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Sean Torrey, for the Business Information Buffet Podcast, also known as the BIT Podcast, where everybody eats, with our DJ Icebreak.
DJ Icebreak.
And well, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have a great one. And we are out.